Many wondered what had happened to the rest of the girls. The Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development says the Buhari-led administration has fulfilled part of its promise of ensuring the girls are freed.
The first 21 came in a very bad shape, so they took about almost 2 months in the medical facility.
On the identity of the girls,
when they meet and confirm who and who, like I told you, some of them live in villages 70 kilometers from Chibok and so on. And then we'll get both parents to come.
On when they are to see their parents?
It won't be tomorrow because they're just meeting today. And it takes 2 days travel to come to Abuja from Chibok. So even if they leave tomorrow, they can't get here until next tomorrow.
On why government refused to allow visitors to visit the girls.
And a mother too. How can I stop anybody from seeing his child? So it is absolutely not true. The parents come. In fact, the ones that couldn't come 2 weeks ago, I have told the chairman when he was going back that those ones, if they are ready to come, will arrange for you. That is parents of the 21 girls now, of the 24 girls now, that didn't come with them, with the ones that came 2 weeks ago. I said, if they are ready to come, you come with them when you are coming with the parents of the 82.
More than 100 girls are still missing, but government is still in negotiation with the terror group. In Abuja, Marijana Chu, Adam Said, NTA News.
And now to the judiciary, where the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge, has warned the political class to stay clear of the judiciary if the nation's democracy is to survive. He gave the warning while delivering judgment on the Abia State governorship appeal, in which the Supreme Court affirmed the governorship of Okeze Ikpeazu. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okeowo was there.
The CJN's comments almost overshadowed the judgment in the appeal by Uche Oga, who had sought to wrestle the governorship of Abia State from Ikpeazu through a pre-election litigation in 2016. The case had caused a scare in Abia State when, on the 27th of June last year, Justice Okon Abang of the Federal High Court Abuja sacked Ikpeazu from office on allegation of tax offenses. Since then, the two appellate courts have disagreed with that verdict, and finally now the Supreme Court has restored Governor Ikpeazu, saying the whole voyage of the allegation of tax offenses was a mere waste of time. But more worrisome to the Chief Justice of Nigeria was the pressure and interference that went into the whole litigation. He categorically announced that in this case there had been a breach of security and that the judiciary would investigate and punish anyone found to have been involved, whether as staff or as litigant.
He had made it very clear that politicians and parties should not try to compromise the judiciary in any manner.
We are also thankful to the appellants for coming this way and not fighting on the streets. The matter has been resolved. It should stay resolved.
I think it's a great day for Abia State. We are delighted with what has happened today. At least the state can now move forward.
It is not a usual judicial process for a governorship election to run through all the courts of the land and end up in the Supreme Court twice. The Abia case is one such unusual case. And with this pre-election matter now concluded, let's hope that Abia State can now go into governance and take a cue from the position of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. From the Supreme Court, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
And now to other news. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige says the Labour Institutions Bill will be represented to the National Assembly for the amendment of the Act establishing the Industrial Arbitration Panel. The minister says the amendment is expected to transform the panel into a commission and adjust the working document of the panel since its establishment over 100 years ago. Emmanuel Anyemiro tells us more.
While briefing the chairman of the Industrial Arbitration Panel, Dunoma Azura, who led some federal arbitrators to visit him on the proposed working rules to replace the old one, Ngige said the document has been sent to the office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice for approval.
We are going to assist to make that commission a reality. we believe that the idea of the commission will solve that particular problem and place your staff members as members of the commission. We also believe that you gain on staff training, and the training will equip you properly.
That urgent need for us to look at how we will make sure that the rules for the handling of the dispute that the Honorable Minister refers to us is adequately and properly taken care of, knowing fully well that the world is dynamic.
The minister commended the panel for sticking to the stipulated 21 days for settling disputes, which has helped in the process of reconciliation as compared to series of adjournments experienced at times with court cases. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ifeanyi Uba, and the Controller of the Nigerian Customs Service, Hamid Ali, met with the National Assembly Joint Committee on Agriculture to discuss strategies for combating smuggling of agricultural produce. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
The federal government has banned the importation of rice through the land border to support its local production and secure more employment opportunities. The ban, however, might not be lifted soon, going by the submission of the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ifeanyi Uba, and the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Hamid Ali, before the National Assembly Joint Committee on Agriculture. They said the ban will play a vital role in enhancing the policy of diversification.
If this program dies and we return to imports, we'll be losing $5 million a day to rice imports. A huge sum of money supporting other economies and bringing in poverty and unemployment and unhappiness to our own people. We pay the price.
The need to come to terms at the higher governmental level is very necessary. It's very necessary. That is what will boost the customs, and that will give us the impetus to be able to enforce certain things beyond what we're doing now.
It's not just to be able to give loans to farmers. We want to see how farmers themselves can increase their production.
Chairman of the National Assembly Joint Committee, Senator Abdullahi Adamu and Muhammad Ali Monguno, assured the executive of the support of the legislature on agricultural intervention programs.
We must all work together to ensure that illicit activities of smugglers are checked and steps are taken in the right direction by relevant agencies of government in order not to sabotage the efforts of the administration.
As a result, our farmers are driven out of the market. While we are creating employment in other climes, we are creating poverty in our own country.
The need for Nigeria to meet with neighboring countries, especially border towns where agricultural produce are smuggled into the country, were some of the issues discussed. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on automobile and non-access to forex says Nigeria has no business importing vehicles spare parts that can be produced locally. This was when the members visited some indigenous vehicle manufacturing companies in Lagos and Ogun states. Rabi Musa has that report.
The House of Representatives ad hoc committee members who were out to identify genuine players in the vehicle manufacturing and assembly plants were amazed that Nigerians were capable of building standard heavy trucks, defense armored vehicles of all kinds, using about 70% local content, and assembling tricycle, popularly called keke. The chairman, Munkailu Kazem, said with the zeal shown by the vehicle companies, there is hope for the transportation sector. He, however, frowned at others who use their plants as garage.
If an armored vehicle can be rolling out of Profos, not to talk of Pepe Napep, be a big wastage, allowing a Keke Napep, which is the tricycles, to be imported as an FBU, as a fully built unit. They should come in as a CKD to generate employment.
The indigenous companies highlighted some of their challenges, which are lack of patronage from government at all levels and non-access to foreign exchange.
Some of the challenges we have, a typical example is energy, power.
The main challenge that we have is demand.
Part of it is customs. There are delays in claiming, especially even when you have documentation to show that, yes, this is genuine.
The 22-member House Ad Hoc Committee is now in Kano State in continuation of its oversight duties. Rabi Musa, NTA News.
It's now time to join Jennifer in Lagos for reports making the waves in that zone. Hello, Jennifer. It's over to you.
Thank you, Ronke. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. 258 Nigerians who were living illegally in Libya have been returned to Nigeria. The Deputy Director, Search and Rescue, National Emergency Management Agency, Ohomade Bamidele, who was at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, to receive them, disclosed that the federal government has plans to resettle the voluntary returnees with their families. Rotimi Oluwagbemi compiled this report.
The returnees who arrived around 9:43 p.m. Thursday night on board a Libyan airline included 24 females, 1 infant, 229 males and 4 children. They were received by officials of National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking Persons, NAPTIP, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, and National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. The Deputy Director, Search and Rescue, NEMA, Unimodi Bandele, said the exercise is in line with the agenda of President Buhari's administration to protect the lives of Nigerians, either at home or in foreign countries.
As you can see, the agencies on ground with IOM to ensure that they are giving necessary palliative to return them back to normal.
Most of the time, parents put pressure on their children. They give them the impression that it's better out there. Nothing. There's absolutely nothing there. These children are usually deceived. We have a way of welcoming them, counseling them, and doing the needful.
Some of the returnees shared their harrowing experiences.
We have freedom here. In Libya, even Libya indigene has no freedom.
Over there, there's no good food. They maltreat human beings like dog.
The regulatory agency advised youth to take advantage of opportunities that abound in the country to better their lives instead of traveling abroad in search of non-existent greener pasture.
Now, contrary to the order of the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos, which directed the State Security Services to produce Ifeanyi Uba, the former gubernatorial candidate of Anambra State and managing director of Capital Oil and Gas Services in court today, the DSS instead filed a preliminary objection. Ifeanyi Uba, who was at the Federal High Court, now reports.
The former gubernatorial candidate of Anambra State, Ifeanyi Uba, was not in court today following the preliminary objection filed by the State Security Services. In the objection, the DSS alleged that the arrest and detention of the applicant, Ifeanyi Uba, occurred in Abuja and that the courts in Lagos lacked jurisdiction to hear and determine any infringement of the fundamental rights of the applicant. The Federal High Court had, on the last adjourned date, directed the Department of State Security Services to produce Uba in court to show cause as to why he should not be unconditionally granted freedom. Uba, through his counsel, Ifeoma Esom, had informed Justice Idris that her client had been in detention since the 5th of May. The DSS had maintained that Uba is being detained over his alleged involvement in actions inimical to national interest and public order. The State Security Services also alleged in its preliminary objection that no infringement of the applicant's rights occurred in Lagos. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos will, on Thursday, the 18th of May, determine whether it has the powers to hear and determine the case. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
A development organization that aims to impact leadership skills in children has initiated a television program, Young Ministers Competition. Imoleayo Tokide witnessed the grand finale of 32 Weeks Kiddies television show, which rounded off in Lagos.
The focus of the Young Ministers Competition, officials of Kiddies Vision magazine say, is to enlighten the children on the functions and activities of government as well as the civic responsibilities of the citizens. The kids competed for 5 ministerial and 5 commissioner slots. Each selected ministerial portfolio comprised 7 participants while the commissioner seat category had 6 participants. After several contests for 32 weeks, it was time to present prizes to the winners who emerged, having scored the highest points in the competition.
We established Young Ministers competition to test the intelligence of our youths. We noticed that they don't know anything about what is happening in our country. We ask them about the ministers, what is going on in government, and what they don't know. And when you ask them about music, film, they will give you the answer. Even the little kids will give you the answer.
Apart from the Young Ministers competition, officials of Kiddies Vision magazine say the organization is passionate about developing visionary future leaders. This, they pointed out, informed the mentoring program, which has impacted on more than 10,000 students in 2,000 schools.
Kiddies Vision, we have so many platforms we engage with them. This is the 4th season of this program. Now we have made it to this level.
The event also presented a platform for cultural exchange between Nigeria and the Chinese business and youth organizations.
This also is my country the same. We are coming here not only business. We are coming here only as family.
Various cultural displays from Nigeria and China added color to the season 4 grand finale of the Young Ministers competition. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
You're still on to the news nationwide on the network service of the NTA. It's now back to Ronke in Abuja for more on nationwide news.
Thank you, Jennifer. Democracy may not fully thrive without a formidable armed forces. Commander Operation Delta Save, Rear Admiral Pochi Suleiman, made this known during a media briefing at the command's headquarters in Bogene, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. Gabriel Amonike reports.
Says Operation Delta Save has destroyed many militant camps and their working implements, with several persons arrested and handed over to the law enforcement agencies. Most recent of the operations was carried out on Sunday, 30th April at Ajakpa community in Ese Odo local government area of Ondo State. During a gun drill, one kingpin, O.C. Ibori, an alleged notorious criminal, was killed along with gang members. The troops also carried out an operation to clear remnants of miscreants in the area. Commander Operation Delta Safe says during the operation, all identified militant camps, shrines and hideouts used as safe haven were destroyed.
It is believed that these hideouts used as safe haven were where the criminals were taking their hostages or people kidnapped, go and keep and use ask for ransom. All the hideouts that were taken out there were either used as shrines or hideouts. There was nobody's house that was burned down. This is just a propaganda.
He, however, used the medium to condole with the families of the fallen heroes who paid the supreme price at the cause of maintaining peace and security in the country. In Yenagoa, Gabriel Amunike, NTA News.
Thank you, Gabriel. The National Security Summit, organized by the Nigerian Police in collaboration with the National Traditional Council of Nigeria and Leadership Newspaper Group, enters day 2. With calls on participants to address the root causes of various violent crimes in the country. Edina Justice reports that various speakers, including the academics, traditional rulers, security agents, and the women organizations, traced some of the causes of the seemingly increase in violent crimes to population explosion, availability of small arms and light weapons, and non-implementation of committee recommendation of past crises.
Business. It is not cheap. I think we must be ready as a nation to commit enough funds to security.
We're discussing hunger, we're discussing nutrition, we're discussing women. So the paradigm in security has shifted from use of just security forces, physical security, to human security, which has by far more dimensions and more holistic way of looking at and getting better results.
These people who come across the border they refer to them as laborers. They call them laborers. They can't even speak one word of English. Even Hausa, only very few of them can speak stammering Hausa. And we try to treat it as a Nigerian problem. No, it's an international problem. Nigerian police alone cannot cope with this menace. Let's internationalize it. Let the people come, look at it, go to the root cause of the problem.
For now, we must regulate the activities of herdsmen. Control their children from grazing just anytime, control them from grazing in the night, and make sure that we register all of them and monitor their activities from one point to the other.
If there's going to be any crisis, the first people that have an idea that something is going to happen are women, because they are very observant. If they are allowed to serve as early warning, whatever they see that will affect peace in the community, and they know the channel of reporting and communicating so that there is early response, whether from government or from wherever.
A communique is expected at the end of the summit. And still talking security, the Al-Mustafa Peace, Unity and Development Institute for Peace Studies and Social Rehabilitation has advocated the constitutional empowerment of traditional rulers in the country as the means of addressing conflicts between farmers and herdsmen. Coordinator of the Institute's postgraduate studies, Emmanuel Danladi, stated this at a media briefing in Abuja. Abdullahi Suleiman Jaji reports.
The Institute says it is committed to good governance and tackling insecurity, especially the menace of cattle rustling, which has claimed lives and property. To this end, it is partnering with civil society groups and the entertainment industry under the auspices of the Peace Nigeria project to chart a way forward.
Whatever meeting that is going on now, if they need to come up with an action plan, a framework that will provide rules for traditional rulers. If they are empowered, to carry out their function properly, I think the police will benefit from them, because police are actually meant to, go for intelligence information. And it is these locals that will give you the information.
Communication plays a dominant role in the field of human relationship. So misinformation also can lead to a whole lot. A lot of nations have gone to war because of misinformation. We are here to ensure that we bridge those gaps.
They added that continuous consultation with leadership at all levels remains a priority to ensure sustainable development. In Abuja, Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Bayelsa State Police Commissioner Asuko Emba has paraded 32 suspects for courtesy and other crimes. The police commissioner has intensified crime prevention through visible policing, patrols, and active participation of neighborhood watches via the vigilante groups. Vieira John has the details.
The Commissioner of Police, Bayelsa State Command, Mr. Amba Asuko Amba, told journalists that the command's vision is to reduce crime to the barest. He disclosed that the command in the last 2 weeks has been able to apprehend about 32 cultists from different cult groups, 12 out of which are members of Greenlanders, 9 Icelanders, 6 Bobos, and 2 Vikings members who had been terrorizing parts of the state.
Cultism is a prevalent crime here in Bayelsa, and that the line between cultism and robbery is very slim. So we can as well, even though we identify them, some of them mostly as cultism, that they are involved in some of the robberies we have of recent discovered. Sensitive to our environment, to the relationship we keep, to our social life. Those are just part of the security tips that we all have to do, because security is the business of everybody.
The Commissioner of Police advised parents to monitor the activities of their wards, while also calling on the public to provide useful and timely information to the police to enable them carry out their duties effectively.
We should have whistleblowers that can give us better information so that we can mop up this.
Items recovered from the suspects include a locally made pistol, machetes, daggers, master key, and face masks, amongst others. In Yenegoa, Vera John. And
Our next set of report is coming from Maiduguri Network Center.
Thank you, Ronke, and welcome to Maiduguri. More roads and drainages are being constructed by Borno State government within Maiduguri metropolis and environs towards addressing congestion and perennial flooding. The State Governor, Kashi Shatima, went on an inspection of some of these project sites in the state capital. Lami Ali reports.
The construction of roads and drainages by the present administration in the state is part of measures to address the perennial flooding in some parts of the metropolis and environs. At the moment, culverts and embankment slabs are being fabricated, while drainages and dikes are constructed to forestall flooding, in addition to road construction to decongest traffic in the metropolis. Governor Kashim Shettima, while inspecting the various project sites, was briefed on the progress of work by the site engineer Satomi Ahmed. At Ngumari, the governor inspected the progress of work at the drainage construction site, where he was informed that the work was disrupted by the last rainfall. The construction has now resumed in earnest. The entourage proceeded to Zenna Mustafa Garden Phase 2 to inspect construction of roads and drainages within the estate. The Deputy Governor, Usman Mamandurkwa, told him that the estate has a clinic, primary school and fire service, among other amenities. Also inspected was the construction of roads and drainages at Galtimari ward of the metropolis, where the Permanent Secretary, Borno State Road Maintenance Agency, Abba Yusuf, took the governor around. In Maiduguri, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The people of Chibok local government area of Borno State have been enjoined to take advantage of Fadama tree projects in order to restore their livelihood activities. This came up during the distribution of food and livelihood support items to 250 households in Chibok town that were most affected by the insurgency. Yagub Subukar has more.
Chibok local government area of Borno State had suffered several attacks by Boko Haram insurgents throughout the 7 years period of insurgency, at least not less than 25 times. This perhaps could be because of the proximity of Chibok town to Sambisa Forest, the erstwhile stronghold of the insurgents, but due to the resilience of the people of Chibok, most of them remained. The distribution of the food and livelihood support items to the people was therefore meant to give hope and confidence to the residents of Chibok to enable them embark on livelihood activities. Borno State Commissioner for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, who represented Governor Kashim Shettima in flagging of the distribution, urged them to take advantage of the Fadama Tree project to restore their livelihood activities. The governor appealed to those who could not benefit to be patient, as next phase of the project will accommodate more people. The 250 households were selected in 5 communities of Zilang, Hirpaya, Mife, Chibok and Soha in Chibok local government area of Borno State. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues in Abuja.
Thank you so much. And moving on now, the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, NTDC, says it is partnering with stakeholders in the industry with a view to promoting domestic tourism in the country. Director General NTDC Folorunsho Folarin Koka made this known when he received members of the Institute for Tourism Professionals in Abuja. He called on stakeholders to play a crucial role towards promoting Nigerians' tourism potential. President, Institute for Tourism Professionals, Abiodun Odusanwo, commended the DJ for his preparedness to work with them.
Of domestic tourism, to promoting domestic tourism, to ensuring that Nigeria as a country becomes the tourist destination of choice.
Nigeria is said to be blessed with more than 70 exciting tourism destinations, yet untapped. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. You're watching Nationwide. Let's pause for some messages. We'll be back with more news. Thanks for being there.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
People are supposed to help people, but people help people and end up wishing they never helped anybody in the first place.
So this is what you people do. Okay? You people spread stolen vehicles. I know that.
In a world of give and take, learn what it takes to give, and the world will be filled with people who value what has been given.
Now my ancestors, all of them, let God bless you.
Until then, there may just be no help. Professor John Bull, your rib-cracking comedy, takes a look at issues arising from charity and compassion this week.
You know from the bottom of my heart, I love you. And there's nothing I will not do for you. But it's not everything. With your cap like plate for soup.
Damn. Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life. Africa Gender Publications invites the public to the public presentation and book signing ceremony of Dilo Malahi's Antidotes for Corruption. Date 15th May 2017. Venue Shehu Musa Yero Ado Center, Central Area, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Chairman of the occasion Alhaji Umar Gali Naaba, former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Special guest of honor Professor Yemi Osibajo, GCON, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Guest of honor His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, former President of Ghana. Lecture and keynote address Professor Femi Odekunle, Member, Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption. Chief host Dr. Bukola Saraki, President of the Senate. Organizing Committee. Announcer.
TV Guide magazine is out with fabulous Fab Funke Akindele Bello, aka Jennifer, adorning the cover. She opens a secret not known even to her family. Find out the secret. NTA turns 40 this year. The challenges, the emerging trends in broadcasting, and the way forward. Weekend Dealer 2. Meet the team behind the biggest deal on NTA. Is food still the way to a man's heart? If not, what else? This edition is hot and juicy. Meet your star faces on screen. Entertainment, fashion, young minds, social media, and great personality.
This is idiosyncratic and heterodox.
Yes, Professor John Bull is on the radar. Find out what makes this program the rave of the moment on NTA Network, and for the Prof,
over and out.
TV Guide. Ask your vendors or book your copy at every NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, still your indispensable companion.
Daily Times is 91. In line with the celebration, Daily Times Nigeria is set to honor distinguished personalities with the Time Heroes Award 2017 for outstanding achievements in leadership. Date is 16th of May 2017. Venue Abuja International Conference Center. Chairman of the event Aremu Olusegun Oshoba, former governor of Ogun State and former MD of Daily Times. Keynote speaker Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, former governor of Lagos State. For more information and listed nominees, visit www.dailytimes.ng. Daily Times at 91. We honor our heroes. Join us for a night of honor, glitters, and celebration.
For over 25 years, I have been privileged to anchor various programs on television. But the news program that I find most exciting and challenging is The Weekend File. This is largely because of its philosophy of engaging all classes of people, the artisans, politicians, technocrats, captains of industry, and professional analysts on issues that touch all aspects of life and living. In the conversations that follow, you find complexities, different views, ideologies, thought patterns, and individual beliefs. It's quite engaging. We do this Saturdays on NTA network service at 9 p.m. It's Weekend Pal, but you call it Weekend Companion, and it's all about nation building. Join me, Ifeanyi Uba, and production crew every Saturday for this weekend treat, and I can tell you that it is unmissable. Make it a day.
Glad to know you're still watching Nationwide on NTA Network service. Time now to join Asmao in Sokoto Network Center for the latest development from that zone. Hello, Asmao. It's over to you.
Hello, Ronke. Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. Secretaries of Government of APC-controlled states are brainstorming in Sokoto on developmental challenges and other issues of common interest affecting their states. At the opening, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal challenged states under the control of APC to key in and deepen achievements recorded by the federal government in order to ensure rapid development of the country. Dalhatu Abdullahi reports.
The second meeting is part of the initiatives of the Progressive Governors Forum of the 24 APC-controlled states in Nigeria. It was specifically convened to review progress and challenges on key policy issues that include security, education, agriculture, revenue generation, job creation, and the youth empowerment of the states under the forum. Declaring the meeting open, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal said the aim was to also develop basic framework for peer review mechanism and sharing of key governance initiatives among the member states. He added that 2 years into the APC administration, significant achievements have been recorded in the areas of security, job creation, agriculture, education, and youth empowerment, despite numerous challenges inherited in the country. The co-chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Plateau State Governor, represented by the Secretary of the State, Rufus Bature, said the initiative offers opportunity to brainstorm on the campaign for governance of change in the country. The Director General of Progressive Governors Forum, Salihu Muhammad Lukman, said the forum approved that secretaries of governments of states under it should be meeting on quarterly basis to review and discuss the APC strategies designed to guarantee good governance in the country. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The first rainfall recorded this year in Sokoto has left some residents in distress, while for others it was a welcome relief due to intense heat witnessed in the last 2 months. Safiya Abdullahi has a situation report on the first rainfall.
In Sokoto State and other northern states in Nigeria, first rainfall of the year comes as a relief because of the intense heat that characterized the weather. Immediately after the downpour, farmers rush to their farmlands and get prepared for the cropping season. However, for residents of some areas in Sokoto metropolis, rainy season is a nightmare associated with flooding and other disasters. Poor drainages and their block.
And that's our package from Sokoto. Is back to Ronke in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Asmao. The need for media outfits outside Nigeria to report more on activities in the country has been stressed. Executive Director News of the Nigerian Television Authority, Mohammed Labo, who represented the Director General, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, made the appeal at a meeting with members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, and their Chinese counterparts. Adebola Brooksley Sunday reports.
Members of the NUJ and All China Journalists Association are in the largest TV network in Africa, NTA, to further solidify the revival of their relationship. Malam Muhammad Labo said the relationship between the two giants of their continents has been improved upon by the present administration and canvasses for more knowledge and idea sharing.
We look at Nigeria positively, report in your various media platforms in China the positive things about Nigeria, because there's so much in Nigeria that is unreported in the foreign media, to expose them to the broadcasting culture in Nigeria.
NUJ President Abdul Wahab Odushile said the union is set to establish its TV station as a point of reference to media outfits in the country.
Tell the story, the news, the way it is. It will be an all-news station, and we want to teach, especially those who are in the field. This is how it should be. This is what we talk about professionalism. This is the example.
We saw that Nigerian media has very much development in the new media area, so we hope that we can learn from each other.
The meeting is expected to strengthen ties between pen professionals of the two countries. Adebola, Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Association of Nigerian Television Authority Pensioners have appealed to the federal government to harmonize their pension salary scheme and pay off their salary arrears. This is part of the communique at the end of its 33rd NEC meeting in Benin.
Converged on NTA Benin Network Center for the 33rd National Executive Council meeting of the association have common challenges as they were joined by faith in service to the nation through the Nigerian Television Authority. Part of the challenges confronting the senior citizens as enumerated in the 4-point communique include the demand for the 30 months arrears of 33% pension of 2010.
Pension pay must be increased. The welfare of our members in general.
The Director General of Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Ibi Muhammad, represented by the Zonal Director, NTA Benin Network Center, Mrs. Pauline Igbanu, assured the executive that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
The problems that really beset pensioners in NTA, they are quite serious. And because NTA is not the one that pays salaries, whatever NTA can do is quite limited. But for the areas where NTA can make a difference, the DG has promised that he's going to do all that he can to ensure that obstacles are removed.
Issue bordering on inadequate funding of the Pension Traditional Arrangement Directorate came to the fore with an appeal for improved finances of its mandate, with its expected trickling down impact to mitigate their sufferings.
So we are here and they have told us most of their complaints and we have responded.
Let them organize themselves. They are not putting professionals to do the job. They should stop complaining. They should harmonize us and they should start paying us as at when due, so that we can also meet up with our own obligations.
The Edo State Liaison Officer, Mr. Momo Adebowale, says Peter stands as intermediary between NTA and federal government. The platform turned out to be a happy reunion for the pensioners who have lost contact for quite a while. In Benin, Philomena Ogbebo, NTA News.
A talk shop highlighting the developmental needs of Nigeria, which will form part of perspectives in the Africa debate in Germany, came to the fore in Abuja. The forum, under the platform of a Marshall Plan with Africa, featured speakers from Nigeria's private sector, artists, youths, parliamentarians, and trade experts. Okwekweyon has the report.
In 2017, Africa gained prominence on the agenda of the German government within and beyond the framework of the German G20 presidency. A series of initiatives puts the future of Africa in the focus of the German government, with Germany promising to strategically and financially support Africa in the development of its growth potentials.
What does Nigeria really want? That is of interest to us here, as we have an office in Nigeria. How does Nigeria define development?
Voices from Nigeria in the debate puts in perspective the development Nigeria wants, with an attempt to answer some questions bordering on job creation, electricity issues, sustainable investments, critical infrastructure, and how the development can be truly Nigerian.
Now, what we need from the West is that, first of all, we should be treated as equal and as human beings.
Again, introducing the infrastructure produces an opportunity for Germany to work with Nigeria.
Participants are optimistic of a mutually beneficial collaboration between Nigeria and Germany, which will change the narratives and bring the needed transformation in Nigeria.
We should return to the basics, where public sector must invest strongly and heavily, like President Muhammadu Buhari is doing today.
But I would love to see a collaboration where they see Africa as a possible partner, not an aid basket case.
The debate was organized by the Heinrich Böll Foundation. Oku Ekpayong, NTA News.
Education expert converses educate funding of special education institutions. Kemi has details and more in Ibadan Network Center. Hello, Kemi.
Increase in prices of food commodities has spread across various consumables, ranging from fruits to other items such as garri, which in time past was readily available and affordable. In this report, Ifeanyi Uba takes a look at the increasing price of garri and its toll on consumers.
Aside rice, beans, and other food items, garri is one agricultural produce that many families cannot do without in Nigeria. The Minister of Agriculture, Audu Ogbe, had in March 2016 confirmed that Nigeria was the largest producer of cassava with an annual output of 45 million metric tons. Already, there are about 35 improved varieties of cassava registered in Nigeria in producing states such as Benue, Oyo, Ondo, Delta, and Anambra states, among others. Records say 70% of cassava produced in the country is processed into garri. With this record, one wonders why garri is becoming unaffordable to many in view of its increasing prices.
Till now, a farmer cannot enjoy anything. You get what I'm saying? And the garri that is the lesser something for people to chop is now the highest now.
By then, this garri used to be sold for 16 naira for a Congo, but now it's 350 per Congo. Why is it like this? We don't know. They are saying that the economy will go down. When will it come down?
The various innovations on the industrial use of the commodity may be another reason why little quantities are now being processed into garri, while the demand in the international market grows.
Because as a farmer, if you are being given 200,000 or 250,000 naira loan to farm, before you will plow, first plowing, second plowing, you apply chemical. All this chemical we have been used to buy at 800, 900, it's about 1,500 to 2,000 naira.
Agricultural experts believe that a timely intervention of government is required to increase production of cassava for local consumption in the interest of food security and employment. In Ibadan, Ifeanyi Uba, NTA News.
A collaborative effort by members of the society has been suggested to make life more meaningful for the physically challenged. As special education experts Kineni Rose gave the suggestion at the Federal College of Education Special, Oyo. Larry Bileyi reports.
The guest lecturer in our paper titled The Role of Collaboration in Special Needs Education in Nigeria described disability as an act of lacking some normal standard of human being. She emphasized that 15% of the world population is affected with one disability or the other. The university done therefore